was a song for the lovers, and you know, I do get depressed when I see people around me who've got, you know, girlfriends, and I think, you know, because I haven't, and I just think that what's the rule, you know? We mentioned last week that fat bloke from Pop Idols, he's got a bird, which annoys me, angers me, and this really depressed me. Walking into Piccadilly Circus Tube a couple of nights ago, homeless guy, wrapped up, unwashed, and northern. And he's being spoken to by some kind of carer, you know, some worker who'd come out to dish out kind of stale sandwiches. And I just overheard as I was passing him going, well, of course, it's very difficult maintaining a long-distance relationship. And I sort of, like, kind of lingered for a bit. I was thinking, what? And he was going, yeah. And I could basically piece together that he's got a girlfriend. He's from Leeds. He's got a girlfriend who's also homeless, who's homeless up in Leeds. And occasionally she kind of homelesses her way all the way down to
London. I love
London.
the fact that he's travelled to be homeless.
I know. Pathetic. Oh, it angered me that
Is there a lot of cheap housing in Leeds? Would that ruined it for him?
But it just was, I assume maybe she was squatting or something. But it was like, and it just depressed me because it was like, not only is he homeless, but he's got a homeless girlfriend, but the homeless people are finding love.
Yeah.
Do you mean it's so, I mean, that's really depressing, Karl, isn't it? Unless they both became smackers together or whatever.
No, Karl's found love on the street before, haven't you?
How's it going with your bird, Karl? Are you married?
No.
How long have you been out with her? Been out with her?
7 years.
Because, I mean, you're quite a simple man.
Yeah.
You're sort of a simple
in a nice way. I mean, you're like Helen from Big Brother.
Yeah,
you're sort of nice enough, but
I look normal.
Well, yeah, you sort of do. But you could be one of those that just suddenly go mental with a pen.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Stab people through the eyes.
Yeah, you sort of look normal, but if I wouldn't really want to wind you up to a point of frenzy.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
Through work.
What, through her work? What, you phoned up and said
We worked at the same place.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're quite an enigma, aren't you? Could you give us more on that?
At work, you met her at work. What, she came in selling sandwiches? She was going through the bins outside. What do you mean you met her at work?
Why are you having an attack on me? You're the one who's sad and lonely.
No, he's done you again. He's done you
again.
But
what I thought was interesting was I just scratched at him and he just went mental.
Yeah, no,
it's like a bear caught in a trap.
It's funny, isn't it? You'll never learn.
No, I was just interested to find out what the story was, because it might be a really romantic story.
Well, it's not.
All right, jeez. I mean, the fact he doesn't want to talk about his love affair.
I was thinking about you in the week, and like, does it worry you? I mean, you sort of joke about it now, and we're talking about it in the office, you know, like, oh, is Steve really touchy about the way he looks? And,
oh, what's this? Where's that come from?
He's done it again. He's done you again.
I was walking home the other night, and I was thinking about it. And do you worry that when you're old, you will be on your own?
You did start it though, didn't you?
Well, Karl, I'm glad you brought this up. Because because I mean, for me, you know, a lightweight, frothy entertainment show on XFM on a Saturday afternoon is exactly the place where I want to discuss the desperate, lonely future that's inevitably coming my way.
Oh God, I'll tell you what will cheer you up and forget all that. A bit of Embrace.
Oh, one of the most hated bands. Throwing right at you as well, Karl. There's only one bird that has a penis.
It's not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. This is a genuine trivia question.
I'd say. I'll say. I think I've seen one on this. Is it an ostrich?
Right, you're going for ostrich, Karl.
I'll go for ostrich as well.
Right. Did you come up with that yourself, or?
Yeah, I was going to say that before you said it.
Well, guys, you went for ostrich.
Chicken?
You're both wrong. It's actually the swan.
The large chicken.
Yeah.
What?
Have you,
That's a bit worrying then, because I thought I saw an ostrich penis. So what was I looking at?
I don't know. Were you just examining it closely at the zoo? What were you?
I was just.
It's probably a strap-on.
It was probably two leather ostriches giving each other one.
Exactly.
And that's how that can influence people. Things like that. Dirty, filthy leather ostriches can
confuse a child if he's at the zoo and he doesn't know.
A swan's got. That's really annoying. I'd never give a swan a knob. So this the little puffiest of all birds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm protected by the queen. But I need a knob. If I had to give a knob to any bird,
Good question. No, I wish I'd posed that myself. If you could give a knob to any bird, what would it be? Phone in.
Vulture.
Well, of course a vulture.
They need a
big bang stick.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Karl? If you could give a knob to any bird? And don't make it rude, or if I could give a knob to any bird,
what
I'd make
bird
it
do you suit up? It's got to be a bird of prey or something like that, hasn't it? Cool.
It's the robin, really.
That would be amazing. That would be
Christmas cards would be like.
Yeah, but it's a normal human-sized knob on a robin. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And the other thing annoying about this is ironic, right? Now, the male of all bird species are usually, they're called a cock.
Yes.
Right. But the only bird with a cock,
Yeah.
right, is called a cob.
Is that what a swan's called?
Yeah, they're cob and pen, they're not cock and hen.
That's
And
annoying.
he's got he isn't a cock, but he's got a cock.
Yeah, yeah. Quick query there, Rick.
Go on.
When you said then cock,
Yeah.
presumably you meant male bird
Yeah.
the first time you said it.
Yeah.
The second time you said it, you said cock. Did
Yeah.
you mean the penis?
Well, you're showing off the whole farce of radio broadcasting.
Because you're not really allowed to say cock
No, exactly,
meaning
no.
penis.
One cock would cause great offence.
Yeah.
The other cock's fine.
Exactly.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is strange. It is strange. So, I mean, if I said now to you, you know, oh, I like cocks.
Yeah.
Meaning birds.
Yeah, that's
that'd
fine.
be fine.
Yeah.
But if I meant penises, it would be a problem.
If you like cocks, it was yeah,
Right.
that would be...
Karl,
yeah.
do you like cocks? Do you like cocks?
No.
Right, okay, that's fine, that's fine. I was asking if you
No,
like...
I like, you know...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of, tits.
The small birds that come
bird.
down and peck at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like tits
Yeah.
and cocks. There's nothing...
Tits and cocks,
There's
there's
nothing
nothing
wrong with... There's nothing... Karl, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with saying tits
'cause
and cocks.
when I said tits, I meant the little birds.
Yeah,
And
they
when I
come
said
down.
cocks, I mean the big birds.
Yeah. Do you know, when,
Go on, no, go on.
No, it's just that... It's when you're talking about tits,
Yeah.
you know, at the milk. Do you... I like the fact they flutter away when they hear the milkman coming.
Oh, come on.
So when...
What?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, when the milkman's coming, when he's walking up the
Ash, and sometimes, lovely song. Got to apologise to our producer there, 'cause he was worried about it a bit. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just like saying, you like watching birds in the garden.
Just that I think you're better than that.
I know, it's cheap, isn't it, to say, like, we like
I like tits.
Yeah, or I like cocks. So, are we a bit more literary now? One of my favourite things
Go on.
is Fanny by Gaslight.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. I'm a big fan of Moby Dick.
Oh yeah, the book, maybe.
Yeah,
Not the medical condition. There's
No,
nothing
no,
in your... No, it's the big, horrible thing that used to swallow semen.
Yeah.
Now, in the winter,
Yeah.
Steve,
Go on.
there's nothing I like more than to keep my hands warm in a muff.
No, sure. You mean those kind of furry things that sort of classy-looking ladies?
Yeah,
used to
posh
have them.
ladies often put their hands... you know when you go have a nice, like, a party and they're all
nice
leaving...
party, yeah, a
and
winter party.
And you might take the wrong hat or something. There's nothing I like more than to see two posh women with their hands in each other's muffs.
Oh, that's always a
And
fun
they're going,
bit.
oh, this must be yours.
Yeah, that
This
is always funny.
Yeah.
That's always funny.
Yeah. But, seriously, no, I'll stop this, you're right, I've got a degree
I think I just remembered that my favourite Beatles song is "Come Together."
Yeah. Now, we're going to stop this now, Karl, because it's childish. You're right, I've got a philosophy degree, for Christ's sake, and it's about time.
Who's your favourite philosopher? Do you mind me asking?
Well, I would tell you, except when I ever talk about it, I go into a Cockney accent.
Really?
So it can be like, my favourite philosopher, I like a bit of Kant.
Right. Is that Immanuel Kant,
Yeah.
the philosopher?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah.
That's strange. What's his name again?
Kant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That can be weird. Can be strange.
Look at Karl's
Look at
face.
his face.
Look at his face.
Join in, Karl.
Oh,
Undo your trousers. Just
We'd
let
be
it
like
hang
Stan
out. Let your
Boardman
cock hang
when he
out.
told the Fokker joke.
Yeah.
We won't do local radio again for 10 years. Ian Brown, dolphins were monkeys.
Yep.
Before that, don't know what that was. I'm still pissed off that swans have got cocks.
Yeah.
It's a waste. It's a waste of a knob with a
I know what
swan.
you mean, I know what you
They don't know what they're doing with it half the time. Now we've got some great. Do you remember? We're stopped with the silly innuendos now. But do you remember?
I think it's because they've got a long neck, and to balance them properly in the water.
Counterbalance.
What are those things that boats have underneath?
A rudder.
No.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean, like
the
yachts?
keels. Yeah. The big.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It might be. You might be right. Yeah.
Balance.
What about? But ducks would need one as well, wouldn't they?
Ducks don't.
Because they've got short necks.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's the necks. Yeah.
So hold on. So do you think that's long necks, long knob?
Don't look at me, Gervais.
That's Steve.
I know. No. Sandy Tossfeg's got a tiny cock, hasn't she?
But she has got one, which is interesting.
That's libelous. I just like to say now that Sandy Tossfeg has never had a knob.
No, she's not.
But you're not lying about the neck.
No, she's got a little
Yeah,
neck.
tiny
That's
little
fine.
neck,
That's clear for all to see. I just remember a bloke I saw on Opportunity Knocks once.
Opportunity knocks.
Yeah, it was a pianist who, well, it's true, and his name was Wayne King. Do you like Wayne King?
Karl, what's your opinion on wanking?
I don't know his work.
You're not a fan of his work. Okay, no, that's fine. Karl, we asked your opinion, mate, and you've given it, and that's all we can ask for.
Oh, no opinion on wanking.
If you're a fan of wanking at home, please get in touch. The email address I had, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. What was the number again? 08700 800 1234. You know, if you like wanking, or if, you know...
No!
Oh, what are you talking about? We're asking someone's music opinion. It's a music station. What?
It's going to be like this all day.
Presents I ever had. Without doubt, all I ever wanted was a go-kart. This is true. I was like, you know, sort of 5, 6, 7, and I eventually, for Christmas, I wasn't sort of spoiled in the sense that I got pocket money, but I always got what I wanted at Christmas eventually, because you know, working class mothers, they'd get it out the catalogue and pay for it for the rest of the year. So you know, I always got. I'd, you know, really, you know, as many presents as anyone else, and I got this go-kart. It was a little red go-kart, and it was a pedal one. And I'd run home from school, and I'd be in it, and I'd get up and down the garden for hours. I'd have to come in for my tea, and this was fantastic. And this went on for like weeks and weeks and weeks through the summer. Through the next time, it was just it was fantastic go-kart. I'd show off, and then one day I came home, and I went. It was always at the back of the shed, sort of up against the shed, and I went in. I couldn't see it, and so I went to the back door. My mum was sort of like washing up with that, and I went, "Where's my go-kart?" I thought it hasn't been nicked. She went, "Your dad swapped it."
Your dad swapped it?
Yeah. I went, he what? And I was going to be brave, and I went, he what? She went, he swapped it for a wheelbarrow. And I could see she didn't approve of this, and she was thinking, I'm going to tell him, and then I'm going to, you know, have this out. And I went, right. She went, it's your wheelbarrow. And I went to the back of the shed, and there was this wheelbarrow. He swapped it with a bloke called Jimmy Dublin, who he worked with.
Jimmy Dublin?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he was a respectable member of the community.
He was fine. It was his lively. No, I think he was an Irish gentleman, and that's why he
surprised me.
I don't know what his real name was. And I think my dad must have been drunk, and he went, you know, I want to get my son a go-kart. And my dad, well, my kid's got one. He's probably had it for a year. He's probably bored with it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll give you this wheelbarrow. And I went to this wheelbarrow, and it was caked in concrete. I could hardly lift it. I just nicked off a building site, obviously. And I'd be there for hours trying to push this wheelbarrow up and down the garden, right? And it was okay, though, because I was going on holiday soon, and I 7 years running, went to Bognor Regis, a place called Riverside, because some woman around the way had a caravan that we got free for a week, and it was great, just wonderful. And I used to go there with my mum and my nan.
Oh, party time.
Yeah, the age of 7 to sort of... No, it's good, because, you know, when you're a kid and you wake up in a strange place, it sort of seems weird. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning hearing your gran pissing in an iron bucket. And, you know,
We've all been there.
You get disorientated. Anyway, and I went on holiday, and I met a little friend who was about my age. We were both sort of like, right? And he'd hired a go-kart. He had this great go-kart, and he came down to my caravan, and I went, I've got a go-kart. And I remember my mum opening the window of the caravan and going, don't lie.
That's so evil.
And I went, I had a go-kart. I had a go-kart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to your father about the fact you swapped it?
No.
You never mentioned it to him?
No.
You still got that wheelbarrow?
I think so. I've grown into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can nearly lift it now. Yeah. And now I'm just too old to run up and down the garden with it.
Now you get one of your several gardeners to use it all the time. Wow.
Oh, dear. A story on XFM, and I'll tell you the story. You've heard it, but I'll tell you the story. All it was, I used to live in just a little one-room sort of bedsit with my girlfriend, sort of it was sort of like 8 as well, and it was just awful. It was one room, and we had a bed, and it's sort of like the kitchen was the bedroom, so literally...
The kitchen was the bedroom?
Yeah, it was the bed in there, and then it was just one room we had, that's all we could afford, yeah? And so we had... Yeah, and so, you know, you were sleeping in bed, your head was by the fridge, and the sink was by your feet, and you had to go out and down the stairs to a communal toilet, so obviously, I'm a man, I could just pop out of bed, on tiptoes, the sink was quite high, and have a little wee in the middle of the night. So put him and that's fine.
Into the sink, not the fridge.
Into the sink, yeah. So that was fine. And sometimes I just hear Jane go, "Oh, please run the tap afterwards." And I go, "All right, run the tap, right?" And I just remember once going, "At least take the dishes out first." Because I used to sort of lift, if it was just full of dishes, I used to lift them up and sort of like aim underneath it, and then it was quite hygienic. It was, you know, right? But
what do you mean it was quite hygienic?
Well, I was tired.
World is it quite hygienic?
I was tired and drunk, and yeah, and it was just it was a horrible place, and we had mice.
You urinate quite a lot, don't you? You have a problem with urination after lot.
Well, I worry about getting caught, like on a tube. I have to, you know, I don't take tubes anymore.
Well, I listen to my dad's advice is never pass the toilet and not use it, because you never know when you might have to use one again.
Exactly mine,
you might not do one for a long time.
But anyway, sorry, what I was going to say was, Jane's mum was listening.
What's that story when you told that story?
And they said, it's Ricky's story, the story about weeing in the sink. As you went, no. He makes an awful lot up. He makes an awful lot up. Yeah, that's what we have to say. No, I was joking. You know, I didn't mean it. So, you know, I think I got away with it. Although Mum did watch me every time I went out to the kitchen when I was at her house. You're like, yeah, just go to the... Right,
do you want to call me a sandwich? No?
Yeah.
If so, just... I'll have it on the
toilet's over there, Ricky. I know. The toilet's over there. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oasis. Don't Look Back in Anger. A classic there.
Absolutely.
From the height of Britpop.
God, it's mad to think it's a classic now. I was there at the beginning.
I know, I can't believe it. By the way, urinating isn't bad. It's a good thing. It's getting, you know...
No, obviously it's good getting I'm not saying the urination's a bad thing. I wasn't damning the fact that you needed to urinate. It was the fact you were doing it in the sink.
With dishes, you probably...
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, see, the thing is, you know, there are some societies where if you urinate on something, you sort of own that thing.
What society is that?
Cats, for example, cats. Right. So, I mean, you know, cats are... You know, enigmatic creatures, aren't they? Mysterious creatures. I mean, so if I, you know, sometimes I own a lot of things through that.
Right.
Sinks, telephone boxes.
Yeah.
You know, lots of fences.
My shoes.
Your shoes once. Yeah. And I was chasing you around Robin's shoes once.
Yeah. You'd be alright around, Jellyfish. Because, apparently...
Is this a band that's playing tonight? It is a band, isn't it, actually?
It was, I think.
We're on K-Fest.
Yeah.
Now, if you get stung by a jellyfish, stops it hurting.
Is that true? It's just for anyone listening. I mean, it's probably best to check that maybe on the internet or phone a doctor before you try that. I mean, because although Karl has got a lot of useful information, he's not a medically trained man.
Yeah, because I got in trouble once coming out of the sea at Bognor, running around, people going, "Wee on me, please."
Yeah.
Please wee on me. Just running around.
Laughing. But
But have you ever wet the bed?
I honestly haven't.
I've
never wet the bed. Never wet the bed.
Never.
Okay, let's play a record then.
Oh, we did a bit of.
You've wet the bed, have you?
Wow, not as such.
Well, you may as well tell us.
Well, yes then.
Well, is there a story attached?
Well, I remember once, right?
Was this when you were a child?
Sort of.
How old?
26.
Okay.
And, oh, God. Oh, it's another story involving... Anyway, right, once...
Just wasn't a sink handy.
Oh, God.
Come on, Gervais.
Well, once... I went to, stay... went down to Brighton with, Jane for a party, her sister's party. And, we were staying at her parents' house, her parents were away. And, first of all, I got too drunk. I don't think I'd known her very long. And, I remember... It was a fancy dress party, and I didn't go to fancy dress, but I remember laying on the floor trying to trip people over because I was so drunk.
That's something that's hilarious if you're drunk.
Yeah, imagine Jane going, "No, that's my boyfriend. I'm so proud to all the family." And then we got a cab. I got a cab journey home to her that I didn't remember, and apparently the cab was going, "Is he all right?" Because I was going, "I'll be sick. I'll be sick." Jane, yeah, he's fine. Then I laid on the bathroom floor, and Jane timed it. It was 45 minutes. Me singing "Right by Your Side" by the Eurythmics. And then I went to bed, and apparently I got up in the middle of the night, walked round the bed, and just thought the bed was a toilet. And Jane said, "Ricky!" I went, "What?" She went, "You're pissing on me." I went, "Well, don't need to wake me up." And then just got back to bed.
You urinated on the bed?
All right,
Bit of hip hop.
Oh, man alive. Hip hop hooray!
It's like Portishead, for my liking.
Was it?
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it.
Beat a band. Well, that's because Portishead are from your neck of the woods, isn't it? Was it? Portishead, I think you'll find.
Yeah, I embarrassed myself.
Right, another question, quick. Is this question a real question with a definitive answer? Or is it like, what is my most comfortable chair?
I don't know why people aren't going to maybe like Trivia Pursuit or something, just getting a questioning off that and then...
Because they're a little bit more discerning than that, Steve.
Have you heard the questions? They don't know what they're talking about. This is stuff they've overheard in pubs.
Go on, ask it, Karl. I look at the Karl takes down and goes, what's that?
I know.
What am I meant to write? Go on then, ask this one.
Right. What sort? No. The Pope.
Yeah.
What semi?
Sorry, Mrs. Robinson, we're gonna have to let you go.
Yeah.
Go on.
You are the weakest link, Karl. Goodbye.
Yeah, go on.
The Pope.
Yeah, the Pope. Yeah, we've got the Pope. Yeah, that's not strictly a question.
He wears a.
He wears a dustman's hat. He wears blimey trousers.
Does
Yeah.
he live in a council flat?
Yeah, he lives in a council flat.
He wears a semi-precious stone. What's the stone?
The Pope wears a semi-precious stone. What is the stone?
You mean what is it called?
Yeah.
What is it called?
What is it got like a kind of
Well,
papal
I
name?
think it's like, you know, is it a
Is it-
18-carat one?
So we got to try and get
Right.
the carrot.
Yeah.
Of the Pope's
he
big
calls
diamond.
it Dennis. He calls it Dennis the Stone. Do they want the type of gem it is, like
Or is there
diamond,
some kind of
jade,
papal name for
ruby,
it?
or do they want it like the Rosetta Stone, or
I don't know.
the I can't play a record. Play 2 records.
That's not...
Please.
You Two, Beautiful Day.
Yep.
Now I was just saying that's probably one of my singles of the year, but was it this year or the year before?
Oh, crumbs, I don't know.
It was, I think, was it 2000, the album? It was the first one off the album. Maybe that could be a question. No, we need the answer, don't
No,
we?
we don't know the answer.
No, it's called...
Can I just ask, Jonathan Ross just came in there to drop off some tickets for the Comedy Award show that he's hosting
Yeah.
later this evening.
Yeah.
Interesting, of course, a man who's 40 and still thinks it's funny to get his penis out.
It is,
I love that, because it's like, when's that novelty going to wear off?
74, 75, when it's just too horrible to show
Exactly,
in
yeah.
public, I imagine.
But so he dropped off some tickets for you.
Yeah.
Was asking you fashion advice last night.
Yeah.
He came after a 3-hour radio show he's just done on Radio 2. Good show, by the way, worth tuning in to. He came straight around here, dropped some tickets off for you. He's now got to go and rehearse that show.
A lovely man.
I was out with you last night.
Yeah.
Went into this pub, like, kind of, that we've been to a few times before. Went in there, and this guy came in and said, "Your usual table, Ricky?" Your usual table. Can I just ask you 2 questions, Godfather? One is... Have we won a prize tonight on
I
National
don't
Comedy
know.
Awards?
We genuinely
And 2,
don't know.
Can you have someone iced for me? It's ludicrous. What have you suddenly got over all these people that they're doing all this for? When have you suddenly become the daddy?
Well, I came from nowhere, and you know, I've got Polaroids of the head of all the
Right,
stations.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because what I'm worried about is that, like, when we're wrapped up in our winter coats,
Yeah.
you're walking on there in your little sort of, little black overcoat, and I must look like your hood. Do you know what I mean? Like your goon that walks with you. Twice as tall.
Very much like Edward G. Robinson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are with
Yeah.
a pug face, obviously.
Yeah. Well, don't go on about it.
Sorry, that was a bit
Freak.
hard. All right, no, I don't know. You just
Wow.
know that. There's something
We've
to
not.
be sort of-
Even Jonathan Ross couldn't save this show.
No.
It is the only A celebrity I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
it.
out of ideas. I thought we'd have a trivia game. That's rubbish because he can't read.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what is it?
So are we knocking the trivia game on the
Yeah, yeah.
Should we, let's have one final question.
what-
What's the answer? I don't know. I don't know.
For the Pope one.
I don't know.
We couldn't even figure out the question, Karl.
What's the stone? What's the stone?
Hang on a minute.
Just entertain yourselves at home while Karl looks for the question.
Anthurst.
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Yeah.
And
Where? What?
who?
Have you not been practicing in all these? We've had ads, we've had music.
Oh, where? What?
Rick, I don't think we should call ITV later. With this.
Maybe he was talking about Jonathan's inquiry about sartorial elegance tonight. Where?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like summed up that
Yeah.
conversation in
What's
just
the
two.
most expensive pub in London? Ricky won't know because he never pays.
Hang on, wait a minute. What does that mean?
What does that mean? What mean to buy? I'll buy the pub. How much is that? It's £1 million,
No, like,
sir.
if you go in, according to the Time Out Guide 2001, if you went in there and bought a big round, it's a day pub.
It's an expensive pub.
Imagine this on Millionaire. Imagine that question
Why
on
is it all
Mastermind.
too vague?
I know your specialised subject, how much things are and that, and whether they make you fat when you eat them. Then
It's in London.
Is this like some guy went in the pub last night and thought, this is a bit pricey? This is the most expensive pub I've ever been in.
I'm going to expose them on Ricky and Steve's show.
But does it mean, like, maybe is it a pub or a club, maybe, where you've got to be a member?
No, it's a pub. I'll narrow it down. It's in Covent Garden.
Punch and Judy.
That's it.
Has he got it right?
Yeah.
Well, I have to hand it to you. Well done.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
So who was that? Who was that question from? Because maybe they should get these 3 CDs.
Let's give them that.
Who is it, Karl?
There's no way of verifying that. That's probably libelous. They've probably made
the Time Out guide.
Okay. All right.
Karl, who was it?
What are you moaning for? You got it right.
Yeah, I won. Yeah. I won.
Karl, who was it that won? Well, listen, they know, so they've won.
Yeah. Right.
This is genius radio. This is brilliant.
I tell you what's letting us down? Him.
I know.
KP the P-Man. When he was just doing the press buttons and it was cool. Now we let him on the air because we thought it was funny. We quite like him. He's digging a grave for us. Right, listen, this is a new feature I've introduced called Songs I'd Like to Play on the radio. And
oh, this is falling apart.
And a friend of mine sent me a little CD of little treats and stuff. And one of them is this track. It's called Monkey Man. It's from the Rolling Stones. Play it, Karl. It's an absolute gem.
Press that. Hives, hate to say I told you so. So I love that sort of stuff. That and the Strokes. So much better than this new metal rubbish, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, most people think we talk rubbish on air.
Yep.
If they could hear the conversations
Off
that
air.
go on, I know, but someone just emailed in saying the sun is indeed about 400 times bigger than the moon. Thanks for that. That DJ must have looked it up and said 400 times. That can't be right. It's probably a printing error. 4 times.
Yeah.
Nothing can be 400 times bigger than the moon. Karl went, yeah, but the sun, it's only got 1 million years, isn't it? I went, what? He went, on that space program, it said that in 1 million years the sun will be destroyed. And he said, and then we're all shafted. Right? I went, I laughed. Steve went, no, it's okay. By then, we'll be on another planet.
No, I think that's true. We'll have colonised
Right.
other planets.
Karl went, yeah, but there'll be no sun. Steve went, well, there's other suns, which is true. Karl went, well, I went, well, yeah, every star is a sun. Karl went, well, not really. Not really. Don't believe that, do you? And I went, no, it is. The sun is just a star. It's not even a particularly big star. Karl went, well, why didn't they say that instead of worrying me? Instead of worrying me.
In 1 million years' time.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Karl. He's been preserved, brought back to life, and is now the ruler of the world.
Just a head in a fish tank. And he speaks like this. I am Pilkington.
The reason you became king of the universe, of course, is because of your fascinating French bread anecdote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Come
was
on
the
then.
story?
How did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm going to hit you.
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia.
1812, yeah.
Yeah, all his soldiers were like, you know, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Did what they were told.
Thought, oh,
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
You're joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
No, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
So anyway, he
I
said,
can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true! No, it's not,
I
Karl!
read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these?
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says, like, sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was, like, a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on Dixon's...
Baguette information.
There was a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
No, we got to make a sandwich we can fit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
Wouldn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like... It's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish pasty, so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is it?
They wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like a little, and they dropped it down the mine. So, yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway.
Call my bluff. Is one of them true?
Yeah.
They're all true.
They're all true.
Yeah. Tell your kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive in a million years.
Well, it might be true. Can someone confirm that baguette fact that it was so Napoleon could stick it down his trousers? Not him, his soldiers.
His men.
Yeah.
Fascinating information. Fascinating bread information, Carl.
Radiohead.
Yeah, now this is my song for the lovers. It's a beautiful track. It's Let Down off OK Computer. It's one of my favourite Radiohead tracks. It's lovely. Right, set the tape going now if you want to tape these songs. Avalanches, Frontier Psychiatrists.
Absolutely.
Well, we've had lots of emails. People, obviously, we inflamed and provoked about the Cornish pasty. I've got a couple of amendments to that. The crusty bit, you know, is actually as a handle, because obviously the miners had dirty hands, and they'd eat all the stuff in the pasty, and they'd be left with this sort of crust, and they could throw that away. Also, someone told us that at one end was like apple, so you have a little sweet as well.
Little dessert.
So, there you go.
You noticed how, like, over the years we've been doing this, you know, way back when we started XFM, no one ever contributes when we ask about the music, when we ask about hip-hop, or their, you know, opinions on that, anything important. But start talking about pasties.
Yeah.
We've had about 5 phone calls.
Yeah. And someone phoned up to confirm. They used to work for Upper Crust. And basically, Karl got all excited. So it is true. She went, well, I don't know if it's true. I've read the same sign you did, Karl.
Interestingly, there's an email here that says, which basically offers a history of the baguette, and talks about after the revolution, the government decreed that all of France must eat the same bread, and it was up to the bakers to bake this bread of equality. And then Napoleon kind of made sure it was particular. He kind of set in.
Obviously, on the bread, you can eat anything you find in the garden: frogs, snails, bits of horse,
but
squid.
The interesting thing is, Rick, that there's no mention of sticking it down your trousers whilst going to war.
The French have tried to keep that secret for over 100 years,
it was
Steve.
only the upper crust people.
Nearly 200 years. That is a top secret. Somehow, Euston Station upper crust got hold of a document left behind in an old sea chest, possibly Napoleon's. Could have been Josephine's. Unfortunately, jotted it down. He's kicking himself now. Oh, I cannot believe I left a note. If he talked like that.
He did.
He did that, yeah, he talked English, but in a very funny French accent.
Do you remember, there was one thing that, talking about funny French accents, you remember Allo Allo?
Yeah.
Remember, it was on about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but they still meant, because it was a funny Frenchman, it was that English guy who was posing as a French police officer.
It's very complicated.
He would often walk by, and I remember there was one where he said, I was pissing by the door when I heard the shit.
Oh yeah.
Now that's
passing by the door.
I'm allowed to say
passing
that.
by the door when I heard a shot.
That's what he's saying. I'm allowed to say that at 2 o'clock because I'm just saying I'm talking in a French accent.
Yeah.
I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Because
I'm speaking French, Karl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the rule.
Do you know why people tink the glasses before they have a drink?
Why they tink? The verb to tink.
I do know that, Karl. Is it about poison?
It is.
Here we are.
What, would it make a different noise?
Nope.
Brilliant. Go on, explain
Why?
it.
You explain it, Steve.
No, don't, Steve. You explain it, Karl. Go on.
Oh,
I've started, so I'll finish. Come on, Karl. Explain why they tink the glasses.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Only people with money had drinking or something.
That's like one of my film reviews. Years ago. Welcome to History Now. Now, ages ago, only people with money had drinking or something.
Keep going, Karl.
Keep going.
Like spirit and stuff. So they'd it's like businessmen with money.
It's easy for you to say. This is getting to be cruel, isn't it?
This is amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Why did you open your mouth, Karl? What were you hoping was the best that could happen?
Because you were trying to make me look stupid before with the planet, so
Whereas you know.
Yeah, go on, no, come on. Businessmen, businessmen with money, I've got to drink, I'm ching. Okay, so then, with all the drink...
So they'd nip round to have a chat about whatever they're earning money with, and they'd say, right, do you want a drink then? And they'd go, oh yeah, that'd be alright. Yeah. So, rather than like, just pouring it out of a bottle into a glass and saying, there you go, it could be going, hang on a minute, it could be poisoning me here and trying to like nick my business idea.
Yeah.
So what they'd do, it'd sort of pour a bit of his drink into the other person's glass and you get that tink noise, and that's like cheers, you know.
No, Karl, I've just a slight amendment there. I think what it was you're absolutely right that they would then test each other's drinks to show that it wasn't poison. But over the years, that was reduced to just chinking the glasses by way of saying let's not actually bother going through the whole rigmarole. They just did the chinking of the glasses.
Yeah, that's good.
It was exhausting though, wasn't it?
I know.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Well, I like that because people carry that with them now. When they do that, they think, oh, that bloke's definitely not trying to poison me.
Yeah.
So the horrible thing is that now, when I do the glasses, I can laugh and go, they don't know I've poisoned them.
Exactly.
You should always do the pouring back and forth. It's a shortcut, it's a slippery slope. You know, just be careful. Living for the City.
Genius.
Stevie Wonder.
The man's
From
a god.
the film Jungle Fever.
Absolutely.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Well, not to be confused with Living in the City, which I think is a Desiree track.
So
never do that.
because you're a huge
But
Desiree fan.
we were grooving along to that. It's a great, not my favourite Stevie Wonder track. I actually, he's Mr. Know-It-All, but a great track. Stevie Wonder's just fantastic anyway. And during that, we just had heads down, we just like, you know, just enjoying the moment. We said turn it up, didn't we? We liked it. Karl, just halfway through, just looking at me. He's got a driving licence.
Yep.
I went, what? He went, he's got a driving licence. I went, as he went, yeah, just for his own land. I went, you don't need a driving licence for your own land. He went, you might be right. He said, who else is blind?
I remember hearing something. It was someone famous who shouldn't have a driving licence.
Well,
and they have. And I'm sure
a lot of people.
I'm sure it was someone who's blind. But you're right, it's a bit of an odd one.
Isn't it? No, but don't forget, this hasn't just happened, this is in your head. So you can't say that and go, isn't that weird, how did that happen? It's in your head, don't forget at the moment, there is no proof
There's no proof of that.
You can't say something and then go, isn't that strange? You said it.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't just see something happen out the window. Yeah, you know, do you see what I'm saying? What's in your head and what happened and all that? What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking, who's that other fella?
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Why would he have a driving licence? He's blind as well. I think it's the blind thing we've got a problem with. It's the idea of people who are blind driving cars that's maybe made us question that. I mean, Stevie may have a driving licence. I very much doubt that he's passed his test.
No.
He probably hasn't even... I mean, he could have done the theory one, maybe. But that's touchscreen.
And until Labradors actually are allowed on the Queen's Highway, I don't think we'll see many blind people driving cars.
I might be wrong.
You might be, mightn't you? Oh, we hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You might be wrong.
Could well be
well,
wrong.
there's a start. I fancy a bit of Ed Hardcore about now.
Well, Rick, you've embarrassed yourself because his name's Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just play the song, Karl. Mop up this ugly mess. Still to come, loads of our other features, of course, including Hip Hop Hooray!
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club and Love Burns, XFM 104.9. I'm Rickey Gervais.
My name's Steve Merchant.
Karl, what's your name?
I'll press the buttons.
That's it.
Karl, I press the button.
Yeah. Oh, bless him.
People are loving the K-Man, aren't they?
They are. People are saying they love him. He's just. Oh.
He is.
I think we've created a whole new Will McDonald.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
Karl!
Or Gordon the Gopher.
I used to have a show in Manchester.
Did you used to host a show?
Yeah, overnights.
What kind of things was it? What kind of stuff?
What sort of tip were you on?
Phone-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
You did a phone-in?
Not a proper one.
What did people phone in about?
No, they didn't. That was what's problem. There was no phones. Go on.
No, just, you know, how things were going and that.
Problems? Were you like an agony uncle?
Kind of.
That's amazing. Imagine that. Imagine sending someone to Karl. You got problems? Is it delicate? We'll go to Karl Pilkington.
Hang on, looks like maybe there's some questions.
Oh, we've got,
we've
got a few questions here. What's the one, what's Karl's view on...
Karl, what do you make of nudism?
Who's that from?
Let me just check who that's from.
Sort of there's a time and a place for it.
That's from It's very difficult to tell.
That's great, you see.
There's a time and a place for it.
That is just brilliant. That is Dickie Bird. That's that sort of northern, confident soundbite. What do you think of nudism? Time and a place for it.
There's a time and a place
Would you
for
do
it.
it, Steve?
Would I do nudism?
Yeah.
He's not allowed.
Not again.
No,
Yeah.
It's not nice, is it, really?
No, it's not with Steve. He's not allowed on any National Trust land doing it because he's caused the death of millions of starlings.
That's true.
There was something on BBC Choice the other night. It's a really short show. I haven't seen it before. Like an odd
It's
court
not a bloke eating cuppa soup and then another short show like maybe someone cleaning their teeth with Colgate and then a really short show. What was it? Go on.
No, what it was about this old fella who he's into nudism, and he was saying he's done all right.
Does he play volleyball a lot?
He said he's done all right out of it because there's not many blokes who are willing to go nude for modelling and that, and he's about 70, so it's not.
Is there much cry for that, do you think? Is there much demand for a 70-year-old nude?
He's doing all right for it.
Sure. Good luck.
And the odd thing was, you see,
he had a corkscrew penis.
he was just like walking around on the main road in like a seaside town. And
Right.
yeah, and cars would...
See, that's not nudism, is it? That's mental illness.
Yeah, he's just a bit deaf.
Yeah.
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 So
I tell you, one of your favourite programmes, isn't one of your favourite programmes just that one with the hot air balloon? And it's
Yeah, you
adventures.
love that,
It just
yeah.
goes, it's like
Oh,
in
you love
Sydney,
that.
sometimes then it's at a carnival.
His favourite programme when he was little, he used to watch it for hours, was that little girl by a blackboard with two toys.
Yeah.
He used to love
You
that, didn't
enjoyed
you?
that, didn't you?
Right, listen, here's something else I learnt in the week, and we can use this if you want to give away the Incubus tickets.
Go on.
There's a
Oh, I
program.
there's some tickets to give away later. I'll tell you what it is later. Go on.
Who?
I don't know. We're going to save it. It's a surprise. Go on, Carl.
Oh, have I ruined it?
No, go on.
Crack on, mate, crack on.
Yeah, there was a program about the body,
Sure.
and what is it? Right, Barbie doll. Why couldn't that be real?
Yes.
Play a record, Carl.
I do know the answer, actually, I have to say.
What do you mean,
really?
why couldn't it be real?
If the Barbie doll was like a real person,
Right.
it wouldn't work out.
I don't understand the question! If you do, this is what worries me.
I don't understand the
Don't
question.
say-
Why do you understand it?
Because it's one of those facts which I've heard in the past, but so therefore, because I know the answer, the question makes sense. But unless you know the answer, the question makes no sense.
Well, of course it does.
That's what's brilliant.
Is it worth using for the tickets? Do you think? Is it that good?
It's not a real question, Carl.
I don't
Well,
think
it
it
is.
can count really.
It can't be a real
Why?
question. Well, because it's like one of those things about, a man went into a field and died. Why? You have to ask a question. You go, because his parents didn't know. But, well, I've got a million explanations. Okay, she'd be hollow. Do you know what I mean?
No, he's right, actually. There it is too vague. Why don't you give the answer and then you'll understand what your question meant?
What was the answer?
She'd have to walk around on all fours because.
No, physically, the proportions of Barbie
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
not be replicated on a real human woman because she just couldn't have those dimensions.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But that you know what I mean? Yeah. Same goes for Fred Flintstone. Do you know what I mean? His head's half his body. It's a cartoon.
Right.
Don't have a go at Karl. He's the caveman. People love him.
Sorry.
God,
Have I
you're
gone
going
too
to
far?
alienate yourself.
I'd like some hip hop, Steve. Seriously.
laying into
I'd
him.
like some hip hop, Steve. Chemical Brothers, Star Guitar. I'm gonna be honest, Steve. I like the video more than the song.
Agreed.
Good.
Yeah.
I just wish we could maybe tape the bits we're not on air, just because that's when Karl comes into his own.
Yeah.
He just said to me, I don't know what I was doing, I was sort of like pottering around, dancing around, doing something annoying probably, and he just looked at me, I looked around, he was looking at me, and I looked back, and he went, have you ever used a Y-front properly?
Genius.
It's a great question, because the answer is definitely no.
Definitely. No.
Does anyone use their Y-front properly? And by that, I mean, get your winky out of the little sort of slot provided, as
Yeah.
opposed to like put it to one side or pull them down or
Yeah.
whatever. Has anyone used a Y-front properly?
I don't think I've ever done it.
I don't think I've ever done it.
I've never seen anyone in a toilet doing it, Rick.
You should be looking.
I wish I hadn't said that.
I caught ya. Really?
Yeah. That's actually how you prove people are gay.
Yeah.
You get them into this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a trap.
yeah, it's a trap.
It was the trap.
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought
not
that
gay,
was
by the
the,
way.
Yeah.
You didn't prove I was gay. I double bluffed you. Because I knew the old gay trick.
I thought it was the old Gaylord say no thing.
That is another method. Yeah,
That is
there's innumerable methods of doing it.
That's how Oscar Wilde was caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, the judge went to him. Did you see that film last night? Gaylord say no, and he went no, and they went take him away.
Yeah. Take him down to the cells.
Yeah, take him to Reading.
It is true.
That
is
well,
true. It originated in America.
yeah.
So many of these things do. It's
Yeah.
a brilliant point, Karl. I'd like to hear from anyone anyone listening who's, and I mean, well, they'll just lie, wouldn't they? I suppose.
Yeah. I don't even use sort of flies.
No?
Usually, I sort of pull my my sort of tracksuit. That's why I wear sort of like elasticated waistbands all the time.
Exactly.
Just sort
Speed.
of like. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get in there with the minimum of effort.
Yeah. And out.
Sure.
Often I won't shake.
No, oh no.
To my detriment, because it often leaks out a little bit later, doesn't it?
Ever been out on a date with a girl where it's just trickled down your leg and you wish it hadn't, and you're thinking, what if she gets my trousers off later? She might smell or see it.
What? What?
I don't know. I don't know what I said there.
Right.
Rick, I had for Christmas something which I think might excite you and interest
Yeah.
you, because I know you're obsessed and interested by facts.
Yeah.
Don't fiddle with the microphone.
Well, I was just looking at what it was underneath it.
Stop! Listen to what I'm saying.
I know. No, listen. Let me explain.
People could hear you moving the microphone.
Could they?
Yeah, I can hear it in my headphones.
You know, it's the little pop shield that goes over the mic.
Yeah.
I was going to see what way the mic was facing, so I just had a
Who
look.
cares? No one's interested. Leave it. Karl will tell you if there's a problem.
All right.
Why am I talking like that? So this is a book. It's just facts and trivia. It's edited by Sir Isaac Asimov, who I think's dead. So I don't know when my parents bought this book. I assume it's sort of from a second-hand shop or something.
Right.
It's quite long, but I got it for Christmas. I keep meaning to bring it in because there are generally the facts are quite sensible in here, and I like to think if Isaac's been involved, they're probably substantiated. It's not like kind of just this nonsense on the web. I think that this is probably crucial.
up in Greg's the Baker's that Karl
Exactly.
gets most of his facts from.
The ancient Egyptians trained baboons to wait on tables. Karl, fascinated.
Brilliant.
That's fantastic.
But what my point about that is, why did they stop?
Yeah.
It's a genius idea.
Was
Would you
there-
not want to go to a restaurant where they have baboons serving?
No, I'll tell you what
Depends on
happened.
few.
It might have been like the Planet of the Apes, and they sort of rebelled. One of them could talk. One of them could take his order. And one day when it went, do you want fries with that? And the bloke got really annoyed and said they're answering back. And then there was some sort of rebellion.
Right.
Yeah. The Planet of the Apes isn't true, is it?
It's not.
just a
No, it's
film.
not. It's not a documentary.
Right. Okay.
I wonder because what I like the idea of having baboons is the fact that I reckon they're like I have difficulty, and I'm sure you do, Karl. Like working out that sort of 10%, on a bill.
Yeah.
I reckon baboons would find that particularly hard. I recken you could get away with under tipping them all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not leaving enough and just legging it. Exactly.
They go away and you go, sucker.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
I'd love to see
yeah.
some baboon restaurants. If there's
Yeah.
any restaurateurs out there, so
Could I
or someone.
if you do go to a restaurant and you're waiting on those, please don't order the banana daiquiri because it comes half eaten. They can't help their little selves. They really can't. They're okay with beef and steak and chips and like that. But there's a little bug. I go, do you work?
Can you imagine that? The baboons serving at waiting tables. It's genius. Just stop to think about that. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
It's absolutely dynamite.
yeah. That's a
See,
good
zoos
fact.
would be a lot more popular if there was like the canteen and you could go.
If
and
they were
serve.
serving tickets to two. Yeah,
Exactly.
one child row. Okay, go through there.
But I
Okay.
think they should do other things, like in the Flintstones, they used to mix cement in that bird's kind of beak.
Pelican. Yeah, yeah.
We should start doing that again. Because that also happened in ancient times.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the Flintstones.
Yeah, before they had proper cement mixers, that's what they did.
that was how they did it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just animal facts. I remembered one in the week.
Go on.
There was. Do you know them two gay American men who have tigers?
Well, they're not necessarily gay.
They're not
are they?
no one actually knows if they are gay or not.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
okay.
Gilbert and George, is it? No, that's those artists.
Yeah.
They're called Siegfried and Roy.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Who may or may not be gay.
yeah. And if they are, so what?
And if they are, so what? But if they're not, and they
no,
don't.
I just said that so you knew who I was talking about. 'cause
Sure.
Okay, the two gay ones.
Those
Yeah,
are
go
the
Two
on.
two
possibly gay
tigers.
guys.
Yeah, let's not worry about libel law anymore. Then, or yeah.
If
Go
you
on.
shave a tiger's head,
Whoa. Right, okay. You've got to treat that sentence with a lot more reverence than you did. Think what you're saying. If you shave a tiger's head.
not just its head, its whole body. If
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
So I thought you were getting weird. Go on. Then, yeah, if you shave a tiger, yeah, go on.
it's still stripy underneath. The
Yeah.
skin's.
Is it like rock?
It goes all
Is
the
it like
way
all the way
through.
through?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It is.
that's amazing.
Where did you hear that one?
I remembered that. Like, I was
Was
watching.
that a drunk just shouting it in the street?
I shaved a tiger and it's still stripy. Get out of here. Yeah.
I must make a note of that, thinks Karl.
Yeah, that's an interesting fact. Well, you know a polar bear? Polar bear's skin is actually black, and its fur is transparent, not white, and it gives the illusion. So it gets all the radiation possible from the sun, but it's still camouflaged.
I didn't understand that, Rick. Sorry, you lost me. If its skin's black,
A polar
and
bear's
its
skin is
and its
black.
fur is translucent,
And its fur is translucent.
so why is it white when we see
Well,
it?
it's just because the light hits it, and
The sun reflects on it?
yeah, and it makes it look white. Yeah, if you look at each individual hair, it's actually translucent.
So at
There's
night
hair.
it would be black.
Well, everything is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, not bright stuff, Rick. You've embarrassed yourself. Play a record. Oh, I know all about animals and stuff. Do you, Rick?
Beatles, Revolution. Was that clear?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good. We got to speed this up because we know it's funny because our first link when we had to go at like the library and the playlist when we played the record, Karl went. You usually do it at the end when you've run out of stuff.
Yes. What's left of it?
So we started with what's usually our worst bit of material. So I think we've got to turn this show round.
Right.
Karl's been holding this together, to be honest.
Yep.
It's Karl's beautiful naivety and, can I say it, Karl, in the nicest way, stupidity.
Yes.
That are keeping the listeners.
I wouldn't class it as stupid.
I'm only joking.
Stuff.
I'm only joking, mate. Of course you're not stupid. Everyone knows you're not stupid. You're sincere, and that can sometimes be, frowned upon in this cynical world.
Would you say you've learnt stuff from me in the past few weeks?
Definitely. Definitely. Rather like a scientist learns from injecting mice.
Yeah.
No, but I've learnt from you about ants and stuff. I think every week, as weeks go on, I feel like
we're learning from each other.
I'm learning more now than I did when I was at school.
And can I just clarify?
Yeah.
You weren't raised as an experiment and you've escaped from a laboratory. You had regular upbringing in Manchester and that.
Yeah, I didn't go to school much because my mum and dad had a caravan.
Right.
And
No need, is there? No need when you've got that sort of fun at home.
I used to just go away for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, honestly.
Where'd you used to go?
Port Maddock.
But
And so you didn't go to school much?
No, I did, but not as much as everyone else.
no.
How many holidays were your parents having?
Oh,
What
loads.
was their income that they could...
No, well, my dad used to work nights, and he used to travel back, because to Manchester from Wales, it wasn't that far. And
Manchester to Wales?
He used to do 4 on and 4 off, so me and my mum were, like, loving it.
But what Port Meredith?
Port Maddock.
Port Maddock.
Just down the road from Port Merion, where they filmed The Prisoner.
Right.
Oh, so that's cleared up for me.
Yeah,
location-wise.
So what did you do then? You were in this little 2-berth caravan on the back of a Cortina estate.
Right.
Well, what was it? What was the car? I want the. What was
Granada, Ford Granada.
Ford Granada. What are we talking?
An old one.
1980.
Yeah, 82, 83,
right.
84, 85.
Okay. And you in the car down there, park up.
Yeah.
What was it? What was Port Meredith?
Port Maddock.
Port Maddock.
Remember Ruth?
It's just,
Oh, yeah.
it's just a holiday camp,
Yeah.
and had an arcade and a beach. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But so of the 52 weeks of the year, let's assume, I don't know how many weeks you take off normally for holidays anyway. Let's just say, I don't know, you go to school 45 weeks of the year maybe? Generally, most kids?
No.
Bit less.
Bit less than
About
that?
42.
How many weeks would you say you actually spent in school?
Well, how many weeks do you have off for summer?
Well, we'll work that out. That's what
About
I mean.
6 off for summer, about 3 for Easter, about 3 for Christmas.
Put it this way, I'm surprised I'm not Welsh, to be honest.
Right.
So I was there more than was in Manchester.
Did the school authority not come and check you out?
No, they didn't.
Didn't get Manchester, I suppose they didn't care, do they?
Not really.
Yeah.
They're lucky you turned up at all. Why did you just turn up for the last day when you could take in your best toy? Did you know that when you could take in any games?
Just play with everyone else's. Why, I break my stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
Well, this
point.
answers a lot. This does answer a lot. The fact that you spent most of your time on the beach as a kid.
Teachers were no good at my school. We were talking about it yesterday. About
So you were teaching them a lesson by going off in the summer. Yeah.
Anyway.
And did you go to university?
No.
No. Did you go to sixth form or college?
No.
When did you leave school?
When I was about 15.
Right. What, you just went on holiday and didn't come back?
I just got a job early, didn't I? Cause I
Where was it? Port Maddock?
Get in there. No, I was a printer. BM Print in Trafford Park.
Well, that's great. That's a little interview there.
Yeah, little
next,
there.
I'll be interviewing Steve Merchant. What are we playing next?
Bit of elbow.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is Elbow. Dandy Warhols, get off. Getting a little bit blasé now. Steve's just wandered off to make the tea.
He's talking to Dermot.
Is he not really, is he?
Yeah.
Is he just down there? Can he hear this?
Nah.
That is a bit shoddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not.
I'm going to see Pop Idol tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think will win? Will or Gareth?
I don't care.
Do you really?
No, it was in.
Was I boring you? Sorry.
It was in Leicester Square, right? The little lad
Yeah.
in a big coach with his head on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, how long's he been around?
Was it an accident?
No, but do you know like those ones that footballers have?
Big heads.
No, they own really big coaches. I mean, he's only a small
Big
lad.
coach, what, like?
I don't know why he needs a
Trainers, you mean?
big coach. Look, if you're just going to be like that, I'm not telling you.
Sorry, go on.
Big coach,
Yeah.
with his head on the side, and he came in and
his
he's
picture
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
side. Yeah.
right, and about 200 kids screaming and going mental for him.
Really?
I just don't think it's right. No, it's not. I mean, it's been around for, what, a couple of weeks. And the way everyone keeps going on about his stuttering...
What, you think they should really concentrate on worshipping worthy sort of things like S Club 7 and A1 and...
Look...
Who have been around for a year?
So you pick on me when Steve's not
Well, it's
around.
only a joke,
Steve,
isn't it? Here he comes. Here he comes. He can't believe it.
But it's just the way, like, they keep going on about the stuttering.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, you were late. What are we meant to
We're
do?
playing on a record.
Oh, we can't possibly go on without Steve. Oh, we need Sting. What?
Hey? See, that's the reason you should do it without me. That meant nothing. So, probably a good reason not to let you have this cup of tea. But I will anyway.
Thanks. Cheers. Thanks. Just saying that Karl thinks all this nonsense about Pop Idol is a little bit sort of shallow because they've not been around long enough to be worshipped by children.
Just saying now when you were talking to
Unlike Santa Claus, who's been around forever.
Yes.
He was in Leicester Square in a big coach of his own.
Who was?
Gareth. He's only a small lad. He had the biggest coach I've ever seen.
A coach?
Yeah. One of those like National Express coaches.
He just probably come down from wherever it is he lives.
No, with his head on the side.
What?
We went through this.
His own coach, not like.
You mean like a
tourist
tour
one.
bus?
Yeah, but with his head on the side.
With his face on the
it's
side?
his own coach.
Was he driving it?
Was he really nasty? Go, we can't have a toilet break yet. You had your chance.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Wait till we get the services.
I'm finishing this fag and then we're moving on.
And if you're not back from the toilets, I'm gone.
Yeah. It's a lovely restaurant here. Alright, Jeff. What, you know the people? Yeah, well, not my brother-in-law or anything.
It wouldn't have been quite as snappy as that if he'd been saying all that.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone keeps talking about the stuttering, but they never go on about his asthma, and he's got really bad asthma.
They
You're
don't.
right. You're right. We should attack the asthma more as well.
Do you think he's held that back for the final? Do you think he's bringing out the big guns for the final? Oh, and by the way, I've got...
Did you? There's a
Asthma.
bit
It's the way he does that.
Well, he's trying to... that's
That's
his
not
therapy.
asthma, Karl. That's him trying to breathe in order to help him speak.
That's his
Have
therapy.
you guessed about the asthma?
I thought you read this or something. What you thought his asthma was because he goes... That's him. He has to do that to get over the
stuttering.
That's a
Right.
therapist.
I haven't got bad asthma then.
What if you ever have kids?
Maybe he hasn't got asthma.
When you
yet.
cross the road, don't bother looking.
Our producer and friend, and can I just say that I really look forward to this show. Right, I get oh great, we're gonna do a show, and we're gonna play some tracks we like and have a laugh. But now I'm looking forward to meeting Karl.
Of course.
Honestly, I come in and I see his face, and then I go, all right, and I'm, just great, like just a little friend. Do you know what I mean? You know when a kid comes on to play with a friend, you go, oh, and can I come out and play? And it's like little friends. It's like that with Karl.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't see him in the week, you see. We deliberately stay away from him in the week so that he'll be
Yeah.
fresh to us.
It was, go on.
You start off friendly, like you did today, and then as soon as Steve turns up, you start getting nasty and saying things about my little bald head.
No, I said, look, okay, right, listen, let me explain. Karl was making the tea, and you know those bins, the sort of like a round sort of Metal Mickey type bin that you can take off the thing? I went, oh, that would make a good little helmet. It would make it look like Metal Mickey because it's the same shape as his head.
Sure.
Right? And I put it on, and
So far, so good, Rick. No problem there. That's just two mates having a laugh.
right.
You're putting a bin on another man's head.
Right, right. So I put it on, and the swing bit, through gravity and the angle, swung and hit him in the nose.
Sure.
Right? He went, ow! And I went, I said something like, it's alright.
Yeah, of course, because you were being amused.
Yeah, I said, it's alright, don't worry.
Yeah.
And he went, no, I've just washed my hair.
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
That did annoy you, sure.
Because there was lots of, like, shit and coffee and horrible gunk.
In his hair, or?
No, in the inside of the bin.
Sure.
But what annoyed me is, he's hardly got any hair.
Let's be honest, he looks
So-
like Moby.
Yeah, so I said, I took the bin off.
Yeah.
And I was having a laugh, and I thought, You've
ruined my
twat.
fun, is what
Do you
you
know what I
thought.
mean? I said, what's your house? I said, we could do that now in 30 seconds. And he looked at me like I was in the wrong.
I know. Rick, that annoys me about him.
I know.
That doesn't annoy me about him. But otherwise, he's like childlike.
Yeah,
you know, in so many other ways. He doesn't understand that he's hurting your emotions and your feelings.
But also, right, we were playing football, so I can't play football, right? And so we were playing.
Was that just in the office, or?
Yeah, just in the office before he came, right? And we were sort of kicking it back and forth, and I started kicking it a bit hard. And but he was quite good. I said, this is great, right? And we finished anyway because we thought we'd break some. And I went, I bet you were quite good at football, weren't you? And I actually thought he looked like quite a natural. You know, I thought he'd be good. He's from the north, and I thought that's all he'd have.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
And he went, I said, I suppose you're quite good at football. And he turned, the quick as flash, I went, I've scored once. Right? He said, and that's because I was being chased by a bee. And I went, save it.
Yeah.
He went, no, I said, please save it, because I want to tell Steve that. No, you can continue now.
Please tell us the rest of the story. You've scored a goal once because you've been chased by a bee.
Yeah, you've done it now, really. I was on the...
there must be more to that story, man.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because my dad wasn't into football.
Right. And
I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older.
Sure.
Yep.
Because you're into it. And so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah. Sure.
And I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Got all that messed up.
Yeah, that is a
I just stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me, on like this part of my thumb. You
can't just point. It's radio.
It's this bit here.
Right. Yeah.
The fleshy bit. The fleshy bit of the thumb. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
it was a thumb. Oh, it was a bee.
It was a bee on me. So I start running.
Yeah.
Try to get away from it, and bees. Actually, something interesting about bees. More chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learned many things. You're being chased by the bees.
So
windy.
I'm running.
It's on your thumb. Is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag beetle.
Clever.
Like a stag beetle. I love it. Oh,
or a bee.
Yeah.
So I'm running, and I'm running towards like the goal.
Yeah.
Like, oh God! And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but at that particular moment, did it sting you?
This was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once a bee stings
you. So did it sting you?
Yeah, but did it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
No.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school?
Listen, Karl. Oh, what I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After half time.
Play a record, man.
Oh, he's the best!
Classics.
Oggy.
Oi.
Well, we were talking earlier about this, as this book, They Died Young, right? And there's all these theories about these people, like famous people that, aren't really dead. And I remember speaking to someone about this, okay? And they said to me, Bruce Lee is not dead, right? They said he's not dead, right? And I said, well, how do you know? He's going, no, it was a whole big thing by the Hong Kong government, and he's actually working as an undercover cop in Hong Kong, using his kung fu powers. Now,
no, apparently he faked his own death, Karl.
Yeah.
So that he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police, infiltrating gangs, the triads, that sort of thing.
Now, my point is this. If you're going to use someone undercover in Hong Kong, right, you know, an undercover cop, I suggest using the most famous Chinaman of all time. That would
that's
be...
a guarantee.
Yeah. So, you know, when he's taking away a gang, they're going, you look a bit like Bruce Lee. He's going, no, I don't know. See this moustache?
It was a bit wonky.
Well, it's just take my word for it. I'm not Bruce Lee, all right? Well, all that stuff you did when you punching us and kicking us and chopping, yes, but I'm not.
Yeah. It does look a bit like the stuff in my film, in his films.
In his films, yeah.
But it's not.
It's
just coincidence.
No, yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm not sounding bad here, not trying to offend anyone, but they do all look the same.
They do all look.
No.
No, you know, we're having a serious chat. I'm not here to upset anyone.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, over here...
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not... Yeah, but you know me, I'm not out to upset anyone.
Right.
You're not a racialist?
No.
What do you mean? Are you saying Oriental people all look alike?
Well, look at the people over here, right?
Yeah.
With like you've got ginger people. You've got people with black hair. You've got people who are fat, people who are thin, but they're all so sort of fit, which isn't a bad thing. They all do that sort of thing in the park. They're all fit. It's a place where black hair... I mean, when they come here, they take pictures of people with ginger hair, don't they? Because they don't get them over there. That's what I'm saying. So calm down. Jeez.
So you're saying that Bruce Lee, the most famous Chinese movie star of all
They
time...
can't tell him apart.
Other trial members would... How are they... I mean, how are they going about the business at all? I mean, what I'm saying is, how would they even realise that was the guy?
What do they have to do? Wear numbers in, you know, because there's a billion
No, but
of them.
when you know them, then you know...
So what? Oh, I see. They can tell each other apart, can they? Well, they've got signals. This is amazing, isn't
That's
it?
how you got away with it.
Simon, which one are you? Just raise your hand, Simon. Yep. Chang, which one's Chang? Chang, good. Yeah.
Oh, it must be murder, mustn't it? Just
That can be the only
people going into the wrong houses all the time, getting off with their mates' wives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare, then.
It must be a nightmare. Please don't complain. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm really sorry to anyone that's... he honestly does not know what he's saying. XFM 104.9.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
Go on.
I don't think I am offending anyone.
Okay, fine, that's alright then.
And you know that I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know you don't.
Before
Oh, no.
I swore
Oh, I
on the
know.
radio, I said, right, if you've got kids in the car, turn your radio down.
So before you make any potentially racist remarks, just point out if you are listening and you might be Oriental.
Yeah.
Please don't take offence.
Or go... Oh.
You know what I mean. So
Yeah.
go on then, so what was this other dead person? Who's not...
Carl, play a record. Ricky's having a heart attack.
Nirvana, all apologies on XFM 104.9. I'm Rickey Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Well, Steve, I met up with... I know it's forbidden, usually.
I don't know why you
Let me
keep
just
doing
explain to the listener. Me and Steve have got a little bit of a pact. We're not allowed to talk to Karl during the week because he comes out with too much dynamite and we want it to be fresh, and it's just unfair. And if he sees us laughing, he clams up a little bit because he knows something's wrong with his head. So, I was in a pub and Karl called. He was returning a call. I'd called you earlier, and I said, "Oh, I'm just across the road. Come over." And he came over, and we had a conversation. And I kept saying, "No, save it." And I can't remember half the things he was saying, but I do remember one thing he said. He said that the human eye never grows. He said, unlike your ears and nose that keeps growing all your life, he says the human eye never grows. Now, there's a little bit of... He says, no, you look at a baby, it's got big eyes. It's got the same size eyes as it will have.
When a baby's born, everyone always goes, "Oh, look at its eyes," don't they? Because that's like the main feature. They're quite big. They don't grow, they don't get any smaller, they stay the same size.
What, you mean once you become an adult, you've the same sized eyes?
Soon as you come out of the womb, your eyes, the size they are as a little baby, they stay the same size. It's just like the sockets.
And I pointed out to him, right, I said, if that was true, Steve Merchant, when he was a baby, with these eyes he's got now, would have looked like a hammerhead shark.
Alright, calm down. You don't want to go lay into the eyes.
Do you know what I mean? Just to prove my point.
I didn't laugh when
Good.
he said that.
Respect.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I've got the eyes are the windows of the soul, and mine happen to be enormous
French
plate glass windows. Yeah. But nevertheless, they're beautiful. Many people find them beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, many people do. But
Do you know they don't have kneecaps either?
My eyes, or
what?
Babies. When they're born, they don't get kneecaps until they're about 2.
They don't get kneecaps.
Is that true?
Yeah. And also,
yeah, it might be
Talking
true,
about
it might be
Carl,
true.
but isn't it a little bone in? It's part of the.
Well, no, but you've got lot more bones when you're born than...
yeah, you got
eventually.
300 when you're born, then 205 when you're an adult.
Yeah, they all fuse, don't they?
Do they?
The head's got to be all soft to come out.
Right.
As we said earlier,
I would know. I'm a shark.
Oh,
So
God.
what did you say when he said about my eyes being huge?
Okay, get off it.
That isn't nice, considering
Yeah.
he's not here.
Yeah,
I
talking
wait
about
until
him
he's
being
here when I slag him off.
Yeah. Very well. No, nice one, Carl. You're an honourable man.
Oh, well, I know, you see, the thing is, right, that made me think that it might be a little bit of truth in this.
There is as well,
that-
the ear thing. Have you seen that with old
That's
men
true,
who
yeah.
have really long ears
Yeah,
and big noses?
yeah.
What, you mean
Do they eat buns and walk around in the jungle, these old men?
You mean that the ears and the nose carry on growing?
Yeah, they do, that's true. That's true. It's cartilage.
Yeah, but not like it's not like sort of Pinocchio.
No, after you're dead, you leave a body lying around. He's got a huge elephant type
Really?
ears.
If you left him long enough.
4-foot nose. That's what.
Incredible.
Yeah. No,
remarkable.
but it's about the focal length in your eye. You see, because it's like a big lens. So it would make sense that they couldn't change that much. Because an owl. Do you know why an owl turns its head round? Sort of like 180 degrees.
No.
Because it can't move its eyes. Because the eyes take up the whole. It's the biggest eye in the animal kingdom. The eyes take up the whole of its skull.
Really?
Yeah, and it has to move its. Yeah.
Has it got a brain in there as well?
It's got a brain in there, yeah, above the eye. Yeah. When I say the whole of the skull,
Quite. Yeah. There's also some space for the brain.
What I meant is the two diameters of the eye is the diameter of the.
You've lost me
skull.
there with diameters. And
You didn't like maths, did you?
don't like maths. Never understood it. Couldn't get to grips with maths. I don't know about you, Karl.
Did you do maths, Carl?
Now, how did you do in your exams on the maths? Did you do that? I bet yours was rather like my theory, which is why do you need to figure it all out when you've got a calculator?
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
You're
And
right.
I agree.
Well, let's play a record, and afterwards I'm going to be testing you on your homework this week, Carl. 2 featuring David Byrne, Lazy, XFM 104.9, 1:45. I'm Rickey Gervais. Steve's got the sun.
Yes, I'm just
We're just going to be doing White Van Carl, where we ask Carl the questions the Sun asked some other bloke.
That's right.
Because we think Carl's got more to say than anyone on anything. Carl only tells the truth, by the way. Just remember that, listeners. Off you go.
Yes, well, today's White Van Man in the Sun is John Slade. He owns his own door maintenance company. His answers are very informative, I have to say. But, Karl, what do you make of the Channel 4 producer, aged 30, who duped a school into believing he was a teenager for a documentary? Are you familiar with this story?
No, go on.
Well, basically, a 30-year-old guy kind of fooled the school into thinking he was a pupil for a secret documentary. The school's outraged. Do you think that that's for you? Should anything go when it comes to making TV?
I think I've said to you before. There's loads of kids at my school. I remember being in the first year, and kids who what year do schools go up to? I was in the first year. What is it?
11.
5?
Oh, sorry. First year of infants and juniors.
No, secondary school.
11.
Right. Year 11. Kids have beards and
no,
stuff.
not year 11. They're 11 when they first go to secondary school.
Right. Well, I'm 11. The kids at the older end.
Well, there's the
Well, it
fifth
depends.
form, and then there's
you can
the
leave
sixth
when
form,
you can
Right.
leave when you're 16, I think, can't you now?
Right. Well, kids who were 16
Yeah.
looked old. They did have beards. I remember going there and thinking some of them were teachers.
I think he's answered that. Next one. What's the next one?
Tattoos and everything. I think they're kids in the earlier years even.
What do you make of the fact that Mariah Carey's £38 million payoff has cost EMI staff their jobs, and we're talking 1,800 EMI staff who have lost their jobs?
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean,
is that silly money, Mariah Carey, on 38 million?
she doesn't need that much.
She doesn't need that much. She has to dress nice, though.
It's not her fault. I'd say it's bad business.
Okay.
Because EMI, did you say?
Yes.
Right. They've got rid of them staff.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's left. Who's going to do the work?
do you think Mariah should come back and do some temping?
Well, they should have got a loan and paid her.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Vicious circle, that.
Right.
Have you done a business degree or anything? Have you?
Commerce.
You did commerce.
Yeah.
Where did you do that? What did you do with that?
At school, I'd learned how to fill out a cheque, pay a bill, and I think I had a trip round Kellogg's.
Did you get an O level or a GCSE?
We know he didn't.
You know.
But was there a commerce exam, or was it just a division of
Can't
maths?
remember.
What did you fill out a
Was
check?
it a subset of
It
maths?
was an option. It was like, if you want to do it, you can.
What
do.
was it? Fill out a check.
Fill
pay
out
a bill.
check,
Pay a bill.
Have a visit round
And
Kellogg's.
round Kellogg's, and I saw my sister's boyfriend there at the time. He sorted me out with some variety packs.
Really? What was in them?
You know, Rice Krispies and
Good stuff.
Cocoa Pops?
Space Dust or whatever it is.
Space Nuts.
So sorry, that wasn't Ken Dodd, though.
No.
That was someone else. That was an aunt.
Yeah. That wasn't Special K. Oh, dear.
What about this then? Home Secretary David Blunkett admits that muggers rule some streets.
Weird this, because when I was out with you...
I can't believe it's going to be weird, whatever you say,
No,
Carl. Go on.
when we were in that pub that night and we got talking about muggers and that, the tip is, what I tend to do, because I nearly got mugged once, act
You
mental.
what? You nearly got mugged once.
I nearly got mugged.
Yeah.
But I tried this technique of acting a bit mental.
Right, and how did you act mental?
Well, this guy wanted me trainers. And I was in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester. It was quite late one night. And he come up, he said, I want them trainers. I said, you want them? I said, I worked hard for these. I said, how dare you come to me asking? And I got a bit livid. And he looked at me like, oh my God, he's got a right one here. And he left me.
Were you acting mental, or were you just mental?
No, I put it on a bit.
Were you not petrified, though?
Well, you don't think about it, do you, when you're sort of in the eyes of danger?
Well, not you. Clearly, you're a brave man. So, what did you say?
I just went a bit mad. I just kind of, because he said he wanted the trainers and they were dear ones at the time, and I just, no, you're not having these. I said, I've crafted you. I said, I wanted these trainers.
Yeah.
And went on to tell him how I work at printers and I don't enjoy it, and I put in all these hours and that, and I have to cycle home for about 5 miles. And
did he give you his trainers?
Yeah.
Did he have a knife?
I just left. No, it didn't get that. Didn't get that violent.
Well, that's very brave of you, Karl.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
good advice, though. Just act mental.
See, what's actually tried it the other night.
Oh, Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Well, she says, I've worked hard for these diamonds. Yeah. It's not easy being the daughter of Judy Garland. You don't know what it's like.
Finally, apparently there was a crook that got a security job at Heathrow. Right, he was a crook and he got a job at Heathrow. As robbers steal another £2 million. Apparently security down there is lax.
Yeah.
Is that a concern for you?
Is this another
Yeah.
2 million?
Yeah.
Why is all this money at the airport?
It's those sandwich shops. You know how they're really expensive, the sandwiches in, like, when you're in a plane. They're like £2.50 for tuna, which is ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's basically the reason.
What do you mean, why is all this money at airports?
Well, what is it doing there? Why?
Have a go. No, have a go answering this yourself. Why is anything at an airport?
It's going somewhere.
Or coming in from somewhere?
Yeah, but money, you can sort it out through the bank, like phone banks and that.
Have you done commerce? You know a lot about paying bills and writing out cheques. Yeah.
Tell us about Kellogg's.
What was it like? What was in the factory? Was it just like squashing bits of corn?
Pretty boring, really. Just loads of conveyor belts, boxes of cornflakes everywhere. Just what you imagine.
Yeah.
So is it more, this is where you might be working? This is where you're likely to work?
Possibly. There was 2 trips. There was that and the trip to Manchester Evening News.
Okay.
And I left that early because I had a job in Cordon Bleu.
In Kellogg's.
Cordon Bleu, what's that?
It's like a supermarket.
Yeah?
And I had to leave the trip early, and the teacher went mad saying they thought I'd got lost on the, in the building and stuff.
What, you didn't tell anyone?
No, because it was like day 2 of working in this supermarket, and I couldn't be late. I thought by the time I explain where I've got to go and everything, I'll be even later.
Sure.
So I just left, and then apparently they were searching the building and everything for me.
How old were you?
Stuck in a printer. Don't know.
Stuck in a printer?
I don't know.
What was the printer's name?
You worked at a supermarket called Cordon Bleu.
Yeah. Cordon Bleu!
Brilliant.
That's great, isn't it?
It's rubbish.
Oh.
Got sacked.
What
did you get sacked for?
Messing about in a back in the car park round the back.
Yeah.
Right, there was a grid, and all the concrete had gone funny. So when it rained, you got like a big lake.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I got in. Do you know those big metal trolleys you get to like put all the food in while?
Oh yeah.
And I got in one of them and pushed myself out into this lake.
Of cement?
No,
of
it
water.
was full of
was
water.
water,
It'd been
right,
raining.
right.
And I got stuck in the middle, right? And the boss was like, "Where's Karl? He's meant to be doing, facing up the beans." And I was like,
And you were stranded in a lake.
So someone said, "Oh, I saw him messing about out the back." He came out and saw me stuck in the middle of this lake in a trolley, and he said, "Get back in." I said,
Would you say no? I'm filming sharks.
I said, "It's too deep. I can't get out. You'll have to pass me something." And he said, "I'm not passing you nothing." He said, "You can get out of there and walk through it." I said, "I'm not. I've got my trainers on, probably the same ones."
Yeah, you've risked
actually.
your life for them.
Yeah. I said, "I'm not getting these wet." I said, "He said, what are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to wait for the water to go down the grid." He said, "The grid's blocked. Now get out or you're sacked." I said, "Well, I'm not getting out." He said, "Right, you're sacked."
So you were sacked. How long did you have to wait for the water to go down the
In
grid?
the end, I did get bored, and I sort of did a bit of a leap and a jump and got 1 foot wet.
How long were you waiting?
Maybe about half an hour.
Just think of it. Just think. I mean, how did he get himself into that situation? That's fantastic. Should we play a record?
Oh, definitely. That's a
Your choice.
joy. Oh, you're an absolute pleasure. More White Van Man.
Karl went. He's got his headphones on, so he's speaking a bit loud.
The harmonica's playing.
In a whiny mank accent when the harmonica's going, that's an annoying sound, that, innit? God.
Oh, bless
Bob Dylan there. An annoying sound there.
Did you hear about...
The annoying sound of Bob Dylan, that could be a new album.
Yeah.
Just that sort of sound always reminds me of a one-man band.
Yeah.
Have you heard the story about Leo Sayer with his song One Man Band?
No?
Years ago. What year was, oh, God.
I'm in the mood for dancing?
What's the song that he did about a one-man
I'm
band?
a one-man band, it was called.
Right, yeah.
Funnily enough. Go on.
He did that, one-man band, and he was playing it at the Dominion Theatre.
Yeah.
And apparently, whenever he played, he sort of sang this song, he got the audience involved. And the line in it was, I'm a one-man band.
Nobody knows or understands. Is there anybody there can lend me a hand to my one-man band?
He said that, and what he used to do, he used to reach out.
Oh, yeah?
And grab people's hands, and then he'd walk down the middle. Anyway, he said, "Well, anyone lend me a hand?" And he stuck his hand out, grabbed like a hand, and was walking down. Everyone looked horrified. And some woman who had like a plastic hand, it had come off. And he was walking down the middle of like Dominion Theatre with his plastic hand in his hand. And he said, "Oh, that's a moment I won't forget."
He knows how to tell a story, Leo Sayer.
Right, well, it's time for...
That's true enough.
And we're away for 3 months. I'm Rickey Gervais.
Obviously, yeah.
Steve Merchant, little Karl. Now, Karl, his homework was to come up with those stupid lateral thinking problems.
We maybe should give an example of the.
Romeo and Juliet. Right, Romeo's asleep on the bed, Juliet's on the floor, covered in water and broken glass. What happened? And you ask all these stupid questions, and it's Romeo's a cat and Juliet's a goldfish. Again,
awful.
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on then, Karl.
Right, first one.
Yeah.
There's a bloke lying on the floor, right? He's cut his head, blood's coming out of his head, and all his mates come running up, and they're all stood round him.
Yeah.
And they don't take their hats off as a mark of respect.
That is outrageous.
Why didn't they take their hats off?
I'm laughing, but it's probably as good as the real
absolutely.
No, these are really good.
Did you make them all up?
Yeah.
No, I mean, did you make up all the ones that already exist?
No.
That would make a lot of sense.
Right, a bloke's fallen with his... Yeah.
He's lying on the floor.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
His mates come running up and like,
was it important that his head was cut?
I don't know. I mean,
would it have been okay if he'd have been wearing a hat? He wouldn't have been dead if he was wearing a hat.
What's your answer?
No, you're meant to answer questions. You don't just go, what's your answer? You say, where's it turns and you go, no, and I have to guess. It's obviously like sort of motorcycle stunt team or a parachute.
Why didn't they take their hats off?
Because they're probably still on the motorbikes or something, or...
Well, yeah, but if you mark a respect to someone, you could take your helmet off.
I'm getting angry!
What? They're parachutists.
Why couldn't they take their helmets off?
Because they're coming down from the sky.
But he's on the floor dead.
Well, yeah, but they can look down and see him on the floor.
Are they on the floor, Karl?
They're on the floor as well.
They're walking, are they?
Yeah, well, they sort of stood there looking at him.
They're stood there.
Yeah.
They're stood on the floor looking at him.
They're soldiers.
Why? But why?
Because it might be in a battle zone. They might have their helmets on, and he's been shot in the head.
No.
Well, that does work. You see, this is my point. That one works. That one works. Unless you've given us a piece of information where that doesn't work. What's the difference? Why is yours different to he's been shot in the head in the trenches, and they're looking at him and they keep their helmets on?
I just don't think it matters as much. If they're in the trench, they're already guarded a little bit. So they could take their hats off. It's the best mate, for God's sake.
Okay, he's dwelling on this. Are they normal hats?
What kind of hats are they?
The answer.
No! Don't get ratty!
What kind of hats are they? Baseball hats?
If I told you what sort of hats they are, you'd have the answer.
Wow! Okay, I've got to guess what sort of a hat it is then, have I?
Right.
Is it a trilby?
No.
Is it a bowler?
I know what it is.
What?
They're spacemen.
No. Oh, that's a good one.
That one works as well. This is my point.
I like that one a lot.
It works. He's fallen on the moon, and not that the moon happened, it was set up, wasn't it, in the studio, we know that, yeah. Okay, Karl, what's your answer?
Builders on a building site.
Why is that different to soldiers?
Because bricks don't fall in wars.
But bullets fly!
Right, next one.
No, let's play a record and we'll come back to it, Karl, while you think about what you've done.
Oh, yeah. You've embarrassed
Let's
yourself.
play some classic Suede.
Yeah, and this is for David and Kieran, I think, who wanted a bit of Butler at his best.
Come on, crack it on.
I hate you, Butler.
Coming next, your next lateral problem number 2. Brilliant.
Suede there.
Indeed.
I think their second or third single.
Brilliant.
All the way back. 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Metal Mickey. On XFM 104.9.
Was it 10 years ago?
Must have been, mustn't it?
Wow.
I think, was Drowners 91? I think so.
Crumbs.
Yeah. Go on.
Right.
Go on then, Karl.
Second one then. This is a bit easier, but I still think it's a good one.
So this is, we should explain what this is if you just tuned in.
It's one of those stupid lateral thinking problems.
That Karl himself has created.
Yeah, that was his homework.
Right, this one. It's a fella. He has a normal day doing stuff. Nothing wrong with him. Right. And
It's the twist in the tale. It's just like Tales of the Unexpected. Just a normal day, nothing wrong with him. Hold on, though, he's got the legs of a fish. Go on.
So,
that's why he's been hiding his legs.
so
Go on.
he does his
The
normal...
legs of a fish.
Sorry, Karl, carry on.
He has his working day and that,
Yeah.
and then he gets a bit tired. Goes to bed. He puts the light on, leaves it on, goes to bed.
Oh.
That's crazy.
That's mental. I can't think what's happened. Anyway, here's Radiohead. Right, okay. What? The question is, why does he put the light on when
So
he's
a
going
man,
to bed?
he's had a normal day, he's come home from work. Is that right? He's come home from work or he's not been working?
Yeah,
he's just been
no,
out?
it's been working and stuff, I think.
You think? You've made it up, Karl, you can decide.
So is the question is, why has he put the light on when he's asleep? There's a reason that he's put the light on when he's asleep.
Has he gone to sleep?
No, Karl, don't shrug. You're meant to answer these questions.
He put the light on before he went to bed.
Yeah, and the question you're
he's
asking
gone
me
to
is
sleep,
why? What's
and
the
he-
scenario?
And the light's on and
Yeah.
that, but he's gone to sleep.
Yeah.
He started reading and then he fell asleep.
No.
Did he so he intentionally, for some reason, put the light on?
Every night. It's mad. Sounds mad.
That's Karl, doesn't it?
Every night he does it.
Yeah.
He puts the light on when he goes to
Light
sleep.
on, it goes to
Karl,
bed.
Karl, is the point of this, he puts the light on for a very good reason.
Not for us, but for some people.
He's blind and it's always been on, and he thinks he's turning it off, but it was on in the day, and he thinks he's turning it off, but he's turning it on because he's
No,
blind.
that'd be stupid.
That works.
No, that works great, Rick.
Yeah. Thank you, Karl. So you've got to come up with what...
Hang on. If
What?
you're blind, why would you put a light on?
No, he thinks it's off.
Yeah.
But why would he turn it on anyway?
Just think so he doesn't get burgled, so people know he's in, because he can't see him. So he just, like, he puts the light on when he's there, then he turns the light off when he goes to bed, so people think it's fine. But he's got it out of kilter, and actually he's walking around in the dark all day.
I don't believe that if you're blind, you turn your light on.
I don't think you'd be living on your own, would you?
I'm not having that for a
Do
second.
blind people live on their own?
For a second. Well, some people do. Lonely blind people live on their own.
No, if you got bad eyes.
What, any of them women? Are there any blind women who are living on their own? Rick? No, I mean, if you know of some blind women living on their own.
08700 800 1234. We've gone through this.
If you are a blind woman
with no standards and you don't care annoying voices and smell,
Yeah.
then get in touch with you.
Yeah, I mean,
know-
you've got to be within the ages of, say, 25 to 65. You know,
Right.
well, call it 75.
You fussy, you fussy all of a sudden. Yeah, go on.
If you were blind, would you live in London? Because someone said yesterday there was one struggling outside in Leicester Square, and I don't understand. If you were, I mean, you know,
That
if
might
you-
have been a tourist.
but why come to London if you're blind? It's the worst place in the world to come if you're blind.
To hear the sights.
To hear the sights.
It's a bit mad, isn't it?
Well, they have they do the same job.
They have tourist needs like anyone else.
Yeah.
No, but it sort of stinks, and you'd go away going, "Oh, it's not that good." I just thought that I thought it was a bit weird.
Well, never mind your concern for the partially sighted or sight impaired people coming to London. Get on with this.
Yeah. So there he is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a bit tired.
Yeah.
Just put the light on. Get to bed.
Yeah. So he turns the light on and he goes to bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we play a track?
He's not sleeping on the job. He's a lighthouse keeper.
Well done.
Is he a lighthouse
That's not
keeper?
it, Karl.
He's a lighthouse keeper.
Right. Why wasn't the light on all the time?
Because it's light in the day.
You idiot. Play a record.
What?
Play a record. You're a buffoon.
No, actually, the light isn't on in the day, is it?
No,
Rick?
it's not.
I think you're the buffoon.
Yeah.
Karl has won!
Dead on my head, wasting time on my own. Sleep, rescue me, take me back.
100 Reasons. and Silver on XFM 104.9. I love the fact that Karl went a little bit mental then. So happy that he thinks that a lighthouse keeper pops the light on at the same time every... Are you telling me it was never foggy?
Everyone has a routine in the job.
And why was he going home from work knackered? What had he been doing all day?
He never said he went home knackered.
He did. He said he went home, he's just done a day's work, he said he went home knackered and puts the light on and goes to sleep. That's what he said.
Yeah, but he's maybe a part-time lighthouse keeper.
Oh, what does he do? Works in the library, does he, as well?
No, listen, Rick,
Hang on.
don't, look, I'm really with Karl here.
What?
He definitely got you. He
Anyway,
stitched
I
you
got
up
it right.
right and proper.
Anyway, I got it
yeah,
right.
but then you embarrass yourself by
He's
saying that...
stupid.
But
He's stupid.
You would never put
What's
a
your next
lighthouse light on during the day.
What's your next
And
one?
he'd been painting it that day.
Oh, had
It
he?
was extra shattered.
Right, okay.
The next one, last one this.
Eminem, Without Me, on XFM 104.9. I'm Rickey Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Little Karl Pilkington. Into the last hour, 3 hours of broadcasting to go, Karl, for us. 3. Yeah?
What are
Three
you going to be
amigos,
doing while
3
we're away?
musketeers.
Because you'll obviously still be working here. You have a day job, don't you? What is it you do exactly?
I make stuff.
You make stuff. What, like furniture?
Promos and stuff.
Oh, right.
Sort of bit of in talk there, but basically like little trails for the station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I do all week.
yeah.
So you'll be back to doing that when we're off?
You don't talk to anyone, do you, in the week? You just hide in your little sound booth thing, and you really don't talk to anyone, do you? Much?
Not really.
No.
I mean, you know, you might call up.
Yeah,
But no, I keep myself to myself.
yeah,
Then you don't get bogged down in the office politics and stuff.
yeah. Is there a lot of office politics here?
I don't know. I don't get involved in it.
Oh, yeah. Proved your point.
So when we're away and we're like out of action, who other than Suzanne, who will you talk to of the day?
How will you get a sort of feedback from the world? How will you get sort of like input and...
I always, if ever I've got like a question on anything, the internet's sat there and I can just go online and find out.
The internet is good,
It's brilliant.
but it's not all verified.
What do you mean?
It's not all verified.
It's not all necessarily factually accurate.
Anyone can put things onto the internet. It's that, you know, that it's freaks and things that put on
Well, here's
things
one, right?
like
Here's one that I read in the week, right?
Go on.
About this woman.
yeah.
She was a bit of a punk, and to get her hair done like she wanted it.
Super glue.
Right, no. She got lard. Apparently it's a popular thing, you might know. Put lard on your head,
Yeah.
and you put it in the oven. Now, apparently the heat that you get from the oven is different from the sort of heat you get from an hairdryer, right? And she had to do that to get the style that she wanted. But anyway, she comes into money or whatever, treats herself to a microwave, right?
It's not true. Karl.
Opens the door, jams the things, you know, like the little catch, so the microwave works. She jams it with a screwdriver or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Puts the microwave on, sticks her head in, boils her brain.
Don't be ridiculous.
Right? Well, why is that ridiculous?
Boils her brain.
She boiled her brain.
She boiled her brain.
And this is what's good about the internet. I went straight from that, and there was a subject about brains. And do you know that Russell Crowe, when he dies, is giving his brain to charity or something? Some sort of... some people who can do stuff with it.
She gave hers to Pot Noodle.
Vesta.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
boiling
the
a
sort of stuff.
skull.
Yeah.
That's not true. No.
It's not true, Karl.
It's the same as the woman who put her poodle in the microwave, isn't it? And all that.
Just urban myths.
They're urban myths.
But again, where does it start?
Someone made it up
Yeah.
for a laugh.
They're just too convenient urban myths. Everyone you can tell an urban myth's not true because it's always this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
Were
Were there any dates,
Have you ever-
locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one that a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the roof of his office and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh no.
Karl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? as he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't he wait,
dead.
as his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I'm going to give it 5 minutes, just in case.
The lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes out, I'll call you at 4, okay, if you're busy, well, call me anyway. No, if I don't call exactly 4, then, no, you commit suicide. Commit suicide? I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? It won't be engaged. Just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Karl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a cruise station, waiting for, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets, and goes, quick, Levi's, 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his, trousers and pants off.
His soiled trousers
yes,
and pants.
Throws them out of the window, I won't be needing those again, cleans himself off, open the bags, it's a jacket!
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Karl! At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36, and the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No, shall I wrap them? Them? It, shall I wrap? Just wrap whatever it is. Do you want to look? No, I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? Well, 36 Y story, so, well, don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's, and put it in a bag and charge me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
There was one.
Here we go.
There was one about a woman whose husband died, and she had him cremated.
Yeah.
And made like a little egg timer out of him. And she said, I did that so it can still help around the kitchen.
Well, that might be true. That might be a joke.
That's quite sweet.
That might be true.
That is a true story. Again, it was all.
No, not again, because the ones I just told weren't. Nor is the boiling the brains in a bag curry microwave
Head story true.
Yeah, they're too convenient.
Will you be buried or cremated?
What?
Will you be buried or cremated?
I don't know. By cremated. I imagine.
Like you see.
I don't know. It's out of my hands.
Yeah, I haven't thought about
I've
it.
not thought it through, and
No,
I don't
honest.
care either way.
Have you heard the one
So
about... Sorry.
I'm just worried that we're getting into a macabre world now of ashes, boiled heads. So I think we should play some music that people just calm down.
Levi's.
Just think about some of the urban myths they've maybe heard, assess them, maybe they are absolute bollocks,
Yeah.
and they can move on from it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just that the death thing, right?
Yeah.
There was an argument on there about, do you know that Twilight Zone or whatever it was, Tales of the Unexpected?
Oh, yeah.
Where the woman got buried alive.
Yeah.
They were saying how, like, years ago, they bury people thinking they're dead,
Yeah.
and they've recently, like, dug coffins up, and then the people who were in the coffin weren't dead, they might have just been, like, in some sort of deep sleep or whatever.
Catatonic.
And they've lifted the lid off,
Yeah.
and there's scratch marks
Yeah.
on the thing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty scary. And
Makes you think. I mean, I hope they check these days. That's all. I'd like to play a beautiful song now by Cat Stevens called Lillywhite. It's lovely. Rock and roll with me, David Bowie off Diamond Dogs. Another one of my favourite tracks.
Cracking.
Great track, isn't it? Well, it's time for Karl's Room 101. Karl was too shy to obviously ever do this for real, but we thought that end the run of this with things that Karl hates.
Yeah,
we know the thing he likes. We know that. So, Karl. Okay.
We should just point out that we've been inspired by the TV show Room 101. We didn't come up with this ourselves.
Yeah, we did. This is room 102. Yeah, we'll be Paul Merton, and you be Karl Pilkington. Right. You can chance to banish to room 101 all those things that you dislike. They're never to be seen again. Will you please welcome Karl Pilkington?
Alright.
Who?
How are you doing?
Alright. Karl, so what's your first... What does this represent? And imagine me putting some on the table next to you. Go on.
Right. Well, first of all, right, it's dead hard to come up with, like, 5 things that drive you up the wall.
Okay.
Right? It's not easy, because there's so many things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, picking 5, it's like someone saying pick your 5 favourite records or 5 favourite films.
Sure.
It's hard, so
You know, in Desert Island Discs, where you always get the complete works of Shakespeare in the Bible.
Yeah.
I think you should include Rickey Gervais. I think you should always be there already in Room 101. They don't have to nominate you. You always go in.
Go on then.
So don't bother putting him in. Don't bother putting Ricky in, Karl. He's already there.
I'm already there, waiting.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, right, I thought of like things that we've done in the past.
Sure.
And like quotes and that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That quote that people say that you know, money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Right. We're just rattling through some here.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
What?
Well, the quote, money doesn't make you happy?
Yeah, because it does. It clearly does.
Right.
Without it, life's pretty dull, isn't it?
Yeah, good.
Right, so,
okay.
so that's like a little short thing, and you know, then that sort of makes you think about people with money. There was a programme on in the week, I don't know if you saw it, Steve, the one Posh Loaded.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? That was a great show.
So annoying.
Oh, yeah.
There was a girl on there, right, who's from a rich family and that, and, you know, it's not her fault she's from a rich family.
No.
It's like how posh people annoy people. That doesn't annoy me, because the way I sound is because of where I'm brought up and that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you sound posh, you sound posh. It's, you know, it doesn't change you as a person or whatever.
Yeah, it's quite
But this girl, right, did you see it, Steve?
I did.
You didn't see it, did you, Ricky, right? This girl goes shopping, she buys like 4 t-shirts and a crappy little handbag.
Yeah.
Spends about 1,300 quid. And she's just wasting it going, you know, the woman's saying, oh, you'll love these, you know, they're really in fashion. She said, oh, whatever, I'll probably only wear them once anyway. And it's just, that sort of thing annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, people with money, you know, who have grafted for it are good. But like, you know, people who just get money given to them from the rich parents trying to make the world. There was another point, right, where she's in a shoe shop, right, and she's like got these big boots and stuff. But part of the problem is, right, she's quite odd looking and that, right, but she's got a lot of money, so she makes herself look half decent.
Yeah.
Problem is, she's got fat ankles.
She's got what?
Fat ankles.
Right.
And they drive her up the wall, because no matter, I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's almost like God has gone, yeah, you can have all the toffees and stuff you want, you can have, like, your nice t-shirts, but at the end of the day, love, you're stuck with these ankles, and you can see these...
I love the idea of God saying, right, you can have all the toffees you want,
Yeah.
and you have nice handbags and that, but you're stuck with these ankles, oh God!
And I really wanted to get a job in that shoe shop where she was going in, blowing her dad's money, and she was calling up her dad saying, oh, Daddy, is it alright if, you know, I'm just out shopping, I've just bought some shoes that have cost like $1,000, and I really wanted a job in that shoe shop, just so I could sit there, and when she comes in, you go, oh, hello, love, whatever her name is, lovely to see you here again, got some lovely new shoes in, look at these nice new boots, everyone's wearing them, Victoria Beckham, and, you know, all the it girls are wearing them, yeah, try them on. Oh, you can't, because your ankles are so fat, you can't get into these. Never mind, here's some boots. She really annoyed me, and I'm not a nasty person.
You're not.
She brought it out of me.
Oh, I'm worried though, this idea of you getting a job in a shoe shop, I'm not sure you're qualified.
I like all that's way round it. That some people go, oh, I'd like her to lose all her money or something. He'd like to actually bother go through getting the job in the shop.
Yeah.
And then just wait in there.
You'd be too busy mucking around outside, like on some kind of trolley stuck in a little lake.
Yeah.
But interestingly in that show, I was watching that show, and at one point, you mentioned that her fat heels, or her fat ankles.
Yeah.
She said, I'd like to have various changes to my body, you know, plastic surgery, I'd like to do this to my face, and da-da-da-da. And, her mum's there, and her mum's going, no, don't be so, no, you're my daughter, you're beautiful, da-da-da-da. No, you shouldn't, I'm not gonna let you have those, da-da-da. She went, I'd love to have an operation on my fat ankles. Her mum went, yeah, I do agree with that. What kind of a mother does that?
Oh, how bad can fat ankles be?
I know.
What were these ankles like?
Well, tell us, Rick, you must know.
No, you know what I mean, though?
Like, if you said to a little kid, say a 4-year-old kid, draw a person, they'd draw her legs. Do you know where there's no sort of thin bit, and then it comes out a bit for your knees?
Oh yeah, and
then
then just
ankles. It was just like 2 logs.
People go and say, I like your new flares. What do you mean flares? They're leggings. Cheeky.
Awful, so, you know.
So, okay, so you're putting in posh girls with fat ankles.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next one on Room 101?
Right, another quick one, really.
Go on.
People in supermarkets.
Right. What, the people who serve?
Yeah. It's mainly, these shops you get round in London that are, like, open 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
You'll go in, and you'll buy you know, you don't do your main shop there, it's mainly just little bits in it, your carton of milk and,
Sure.
maybe a loaf. couple of barm cakes and that.
Yeah.
And you go in there.
Who still buys barm cakes?
Right.
Do they have them in London?
Yeah.
Do you ever ask? Would you be annoyed if they said barm cakes? We don't have those down here. They're rubbish.
That's happened before when I asked for gravy, and they didn't know what gravy was.
When did you ask for gravy?
In a chippy.
What do you mean? What do you say? Have you got any gravy?
Just because you up north you have chips and pie and gravy on it, and they didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
Right. Okay.
So that annoys me actually. Stick that on the list. Right? But,
You've got fishmen up north.
but listen, right? You'll go.
We saw a sign in the north, right? It was a little shop, and the sign said, "We sell bread." And it was handwritten. It was like there was probably like a rush with loads of people in turbans going.
What's this bread you talk of?
Yeah, little headscarves, old women running down with their little. Oh,
But anyway, these shops, right? So you go in there, getting your stuff, and you'll go up to the till, and they don't say hello to you. They don't sort of smile. They just bleep the stuff through. They don't tell you how much it is. They just sort of expect you to look at the till to see how much it is. So you can get your hand in your pocket, give them the money, they'll give you the change, and they won't say goodbye.
Yeah.
So it's like they just can't be asked to have any sort of hello, how are you doing? I don't want a big chat. I don't want to know what they're getting up to and what what the dad does for a living and all that. I just want like, how are you doing? You know, you're well, right? Oh yeah, this bread's popular or whatever. Right, that'll be £5.
You need to keep abreast of which bread you're selling well.
Oh, Mother's Pride. That's a good choice. It's 70% of our whole stock.
So that really, even though it is a 24-hour.
I'll be honest. I would err on the side of silence, not rudeness. I hate rudeness if they do that, but I would rather. I'd start to go, £1.50, please, and that'll be fine for me. Any more?
What about hello and goodbye? Have a good day. Not in an American
It
way.
doesn't bother me. I prefer people who say "have a nice day" and don't mean it to people who don't say it at all and don't mean it. To be honest, I don't worry about that mock sincerity because I think it.
No,
does
it's
the
just
job.
normal, isn't it? It's
I'm saying I like people who say I don't care. They say, "Oh, nice to see you. Come again. Have a nice day." It doesn't bother me. But a chat. I hate people who think they're the life and soul.
No.
When you go in for
I mean, like,
nuts.
if you go through a door, you hold it open, you go, there you go. You know what I mean?
You expect a thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and also when you come in at like a narrow walkway and you're both walking there, and I stop, we'll get out of the way, and they tut, like I should have. I want to go. Hold on, look, we're both in the same boat here.
Yeah.
Why is it me? That annoys me. Where people
tutting when they're in the wrong.
They own the street, or if two people aren't looking where they're going, it's one person's fault. That really annoys me. Yeah.
So that's it really. I mean, I know the 24-hour shops and they're knackered and stuff, but politeness, just to say.
Well, it costs nothing, does it?
No.
So those are your little quick ones. Then we get on to your big three, don't we? The big one.
Yeah,
Should we play a record and come back to that?
I know what you want.
I'm talking to Karl Pilkington on room 101 on XFM 104.9.
Yeah.
What?
New order.